So, oh, thank you. Okay. Oh, both. Okay. So first of all, Destiny, I do agree with you. People do live in two different realities because one side can tell us that there's only two genders, male and female, and the other side doesn't know how many there are. So I'm going to start there. But my question to you is this. If Charlie Kirk was such a harmful figure to America, then why did his death trigger such a massive outpouring of support across political lines, even from people who never agreed with him? And I'm one of those. There are several issues with Charlie that I disagreed with, but doesn't that prove that he tapped into something real about the failures of our system that you are unwilling to acknowledge? No. So here's proof you were unwilling to acknowledge it. You went on Piers Morgan and said that you wouldn't disavow his death until the President of the United States did it first. Why would you care what a man you didn't even vote for have to say first before you disavow his death?
He's my president.
No, you didn't vote for him, Destiny. You didn't vote for the man.
Doesn't matter. He's still my president.
Okay.
I didn't want Joe Biden to encourage violence against people on the right, which he didn't.
But your argument.
To revoke security clearances or security details for people on the right, which he didn't. So why can't Donald Trump do the same for me? He's supposed to be president for all Americans.
He did, though. The young lady that was just up here before me said that right after it happened, he said we need to not have political violence on the left or the right.
Radical left Democrats were the ones causing it.
Well, the one that killed Charlie was a radical leftist. We do know that. That's what came out of the. That's what came out.
No crazy chat history with no evidence of radicalization.
So you haven't seen any of the evidence that has already come out that admitted that he was a man that had become radicalized. His own father stated he became radicalized within the last year and a half, and he stated that what do you mean where?
Where did he become? Where are the logs in China that anything can be radicalized anywhere? Where's it?
You go look at first of all, go look at Candace Owens. She's already started the investigation. Secondly, this is already public information. His father was the one that already turned him in, and his father stated this was happening. And what was the guy's name that he's dating? I forget the guy's. Was it Lance Twiggs? Is that it, Lance Twiggs? He cooperated with police, and that was the man's boyfriend. And he stated that he noticed that the title was becoming more and more radical as time was passing. Yes, he was raised in a Republican environment, but he drifted further and further to the left. So why can't you stand there and admit that there are radical leftists that want to see people like Charlie put in the ground? And by the way, you know what's so interesting? I find it.
These are two different questions. If you're going to ask me to tell you that there are radical left people that would do violence in this country, of course there are. We've seen them before. I'm not going to sit here and deny that. That's obviously true.
You would deny it on Piers Morgan.
Do you admit that there are radical right people that would?
There are absolutely radical white people, but that is not the point, Destiny. You literally went on one of the largest platforms that we know of on Piers Morgan and stated you would not.
Violence and I want the president of the United
you
States
shouldn't have to wait for a man you didn't vote for to disavow political violence.
You have to have the other side do it. It can't be one side doing it. Why don't you understand
when the president of the United States gets on television and disavows it immediately after it happens, that's not good enough. So what exactly is it that you want Trump to say?
Fox and Friends, they begged him to disavow two separate times.
Who begged Trump to do it? Who begged him? Who begged him to disavow?
I don't know, whoever the names of the guys on Fox and Friends are.
So you don't know it, but now you can say it.
Charlie Kirk's fans want revenge. What do we do?
You know what's so interesting as a black man? One thing I noticed about Charlie Kirk's death, there wasn't rioting in the streets like it was after George Floyd. That's the one thing that I noticed about Charlie Kirk's death. And it's so interesting that you want to cherry pick and nitpick and use odd examples that benefit you, but you deliberately want to have blind vision to see that the radical left ideology that has been influencing this country for the past 20 years led to the death of Charlie Kirk.
Why did the DOJ remove from their website the study on radical, politically inspired violence over the past decade?
I have no knowledge of that to even be remotely true. I have no knowledge of that even being remotely true. Of course you don't, because you want to live in fiction over fact, and this is why we live in two different realities.
That 180-page manifesto with the Great Replacement Theory that went shot and killed and live streamed itself killing black people.
I think that's wrong, Destiny. I think that's wrong.
Why did the president say this?
He already said it, but he didn't say it good enough to you, apparently.
Why is it that in the Oval Office, when somebody asked him, they said,
one.
When you guys are having this day of remembrance for Charlie Kirk, the flag being flown and passed out, why nothing about any of the lawmakers in Minnesota that were shot? I don't know anything about that. I didn't hear anything about it. How is that possible?
What do you mean? How is that possible? I didn't say I didn't know anything about that.
You didn't know.
I didn't say I didn't know anything about that.
That's the whole point. That's
Destiny.
the problem. You don't know what he doesn't tell you to know about.
Destiny.
He
No.
tells you to care about a
No. I don't. I don't
You're
follow.
talking about girl dick all day. Like, of course. What do you mean?
Destiny. It absolutely. I'm gonna say this. It amazes me. It absolutely amazes me the state of delusion that the far right, the far leftists live in. You can't even admit that what happened to Kirk you literally stated. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna be done. You literally stated that Charlie Kirk would not have been assassinated if Trump wouldn't have been elected to a second term. If you don't think that's violent language, then I don't even know what the point is in talking.
Is it violent language when Charlie Kirk said, "I think that Biden should be executed for treason"?
Oh please, he never said that.
He never said that? Okay, yeah. You really don't know anything. Right?
He didn't say that shit.